Hello, everyone. My name is Ida Letterman, host of the Tipping Point of Success podcast. Welcome to another episode of our ImplementAction series, where we don't just talk about strategies for growth-minded entrepreneurs. We take them into action and share the results with you. Today, I'll be sharing the insights I gained and the real-world results I experienced after implementing leadership strategies shared by operational excellence expert Patrick Davis in an interview we had a few months ago. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check out the full interview with Patrick. I'll be linking it in the show notes below or right here. Let's dive in. As mentioned, this video is based on my conversation with Patrick Davis in our recent podcast episode. During the episode, we tackled the biggest challenges entrepreneurs face when it comes to leadership and team performance, including how to create a self-sufficient and motivated team. Patrick's perspective really resonated with me, especially his insights on shifting leadership styles from commanding to empowering. At first, I was anxious to test his advice in my own business. Not sure if this would work out or how people would accept it.
And it's more important to ask good questions than to give good answers.
When I heard this, it hit home. Like many people who are looked at as leaders, I've often felt the pressure of providing all the answers. But as Patrick explained, this approach can lead to exhaustion and limit teams' growth. To try and shift my leadership style, I took the following step. Step number one, instead of giving direct orders, I started asking questions like he suggested. Like, how do you see this? What do you think? What's your plan? And what do you intend to do? This was based on the ladder of leadership framework Patrick shared with me. If you want to check out more about this, feel free to click on the card and jump to see the full interview I had with him. The second thing I did is I deliberately avoided micromanaging or providing answers and instructions, allowing team members to think more independently, even if their initial answers weren't perfect. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy to me. Third thing I did is I declared my intent to adopt a question-driven approach and explain how it will help my team grow. This reduced the awkwardness of seeing the shift without understanding where it came from or the sudden change. It also helped build trust and reduce confusion about the change. As Patrick suggested, when necessary to bring my opinion, I took Patrick's advice and invited myself into discussions without empowering them. I would say, can I share my perspective? Rather than imposing my opinion, and just started talking. This ensured my input was seen as collaborative rather than directive. This shift produced two immediate results. One, people started coming up with far more answers to issues they used to depend on me for. For example, my personal assistants who often asked me how to respond to unusual customer service questions or requests that weren't on the FAQ list initially resisted the change. But after seeing I wouldn't provide answers, she started proposing her own solutions, and honestly, many of them were better than mine. Now she handles these issues with confidence, coming to me only for final approval. The second benefit was more about me, relieving a lot of responsibility and stress about little things. This allowed me to spend more time on initiative-driven work rather than reactive tasks, like recording this video, for instance. But that's nothing compared to what happened after I implemented Patrick's leadership strategy number 2. If you like this video so far, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving me a comment so I know to make more videos like this in the future. And on a crucial note, if you're struggling with passion and energy for your business, missing sleep, or lacking focus, these are all signs of burnout. In my experience, burnout is something almost every entrepreneur faces at some point. And if you're not ready, it can take you out. That's why I created the Burnout Free Business Guide, a simple 7-day guide to help you reset your relationship to your business, your mindset, and more. If you like this guide, check out the link in the description, enter your email, and I'll send it your way. Now let's talk about the second strategy I implemented from the conversation I had with Patrick, and that's about hiring and onboarding for culture fit.
It's more important to hire for the culture.
Patrick emphasizes that while skills can be taught, hiring individuals who align with your company values ensures a stronger team dynamic. This was a mindset shift for me, to be honest. And to implement this, I did the following things. 1, I redefined my hiring criteria. I prioritized cultural value alignment, not just skills and experience. And I started asking questions about their values and about their passions and their visions, and not just about their skills and their experiences. Second thing is I introduced trial periods for new hires to assess both skills and fit. Let's start with this trial period to see if you align and you fit this business. The next thing is I conducted value-focused onboarding sessions. I emphasize our team's values during onboarding sessions, signaling that the alignment is the most important thing. Let me tell you about the results. So, in my case, I emphasized integrity, delivering high value, and growth mindset as the primary values, and I started repeating the mission of the business at every meeting, which is to democratize business success for mission-driven entrepreneurs worldwide. The amazing thing about this approach was how immediately I could spot people who just didn't fit the business and those who did. You could see it in their faces, you can hear it in their words. It just didn't resonate. This allowed me to terminate working relationships with those who were unfit much faster, saving time, money, and a lot of agony. For instance, I hired an editor who was highly skilled but cared only about the money and not the mission. While his results were consistent, they never improved. So I replaced him with a less skilled editor who was passionate about the mission, and despite being less experienced, his commitment to growth allowed him to far surpass the previous editor's performance. But the most amazing thing happened when I implemented strategy number 3.
Get alignment very quickly, and then you've solved it for a very long time.
Do we have enough clarity? Do we have enough confidence? That's amazing. I'm going to
You
use
know,
each
assumption.
and every tool here. In this interview, Patrick's idea of visualizing team progress struck me both simple and transformative. It created clarity and encouraged collaboration. To implement this, I created a visual tracking system. I developed a 30, 60, and a 90-day spreadsheet showing team goals and progress. I held team discussions. I facilitated short discussions around the chart to identify barriers and brainstorm solutions. And I began bringing team members to weekly strategy meetings to show them how their contribution aligns with the business main mission. I know this may sound obvious to some of you working with KPIs, especially in sales, but I'm talking about getting everybody's on board with the main mission of the business and deriving motivation and action from there. Not just by using words, but by using numbers and graphs so they can see and track the growth of the business. It's like the baton race at the Olympics when each runner is focused on their leg and on the full race, seeing their immediate impact on the end result. So I started bringing in team members to weekly big pictures meeting, involving them with the numbers. And not only did I get interesting insights and fresh perspective from people, but I also saw how this impacted their motivation, commitment, and focus. For example, my IT guy started helping my clients to resolve technical issues, but also gave them mindset advice and coaching when needed, something he hadn't done before and I hadn't asked him to do. This elevated customer satisfaction and experience to levels we hadn't achieved before. All right, well, implementing the strategies, I faced a few challenges myself. Creating a compelling work environment, ensuring every team member feels their work is meaningful is a work in progress. It's not something you can just do immediately. I sometimes forget to reinforce that on a daily basis, but it's something that I aim to prioritize. Balancing clarity with independence. I'm still working on finding the balance between providing clear direction and encouraging freedom. I don't want to seem as the bad person who doesn't want to help, and I don't want to seem overly strict, but it's necessary for growth. The last thing I've challenged with is some team members struggle to adapt to a hyper-growth-oriented culture. So letting go of those who don't align is something that I'm still working on, even when I like the person or they do an okay job. So some team members still struggle to adapt a growth-oriented culture, not exactly aligned with that value, but I'm still having a hard time letting them go because I like the person or they do an okay job, but I know that I still should do. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching this episode, Implement Action series. Patrick's strategies taught me that leadership is much about personal growth as it about business success. I hope this inspired you to try this approach in your own businesses. If you want to learn more, Check out the full podcast episode with Patrick Davis, link below. And don't forget to download the Burnout-Free Business Guide for more actionable tips. Until the next time, take action and keep growing. And I'll see you in the next episode.